All right, boys and girls, it's going to be our was it week 8, quick week 8 video. We got Baltimore favored by a lot over Cleveland. Fire up Jackson, find a way to fire up Henry. If you could get both in one lineup, spectacular. If not, give me one or the other. They just been going crazy on everybody since what, week 2, week 3, whatever week that was when they just got it together, and they haven't looked back since. Friday at fire Lamar Jackson up. Hurts against Cincinnati. He's an okay play. I'd rather get to Jordan Love against Jacksonville, but Hurts is fine depending on how many lines you're playing. Burrow's in play. I like Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. I think Higgins was questionable. Was he questionable? I don't want to jump back and forth between quarterback and wide receiver, but we'll keep Higgins in mind. Burrow's in play. I like targeting the backs of Philadelphia. Stroud is always in play going up against Indiana. Mayfield, I like the game environment for Tampa Bay and Atlanta. So give me Mayfield. Obviously, he's not going to have his two main receiving weapons, but we'll address that shortly. Goff is always in play. Looking for Detroit to put a whooping on Tennessee. Murray's an okay play. A little bit lackluster for me. Arizona's been a little bit, besides Connor and maybe McBride here and there, they just been a little bit underwhelming for me. I'll pass. There's a lot of decent spots on this slate. I don't need to be playing Kyler Murray against Miami. Not the worst play in the world, but I just like better plays. Cousins, I just addressed that. Game environment absolutely in play. You got Tua back. Tua. What are we gonna do with Tua? I don't mind a Tua stack, but somebody that's got jelly for brains now. I don't know how healthy he is. If I'm playing a lot of lineups, I wouldn't mind a Tua stack though. I guess I'll pass on Flacco and Richardson, especially if Richardson's gonna probably start. If Richardson starts, Flacco's not in play. But I'm pretty sure Richardson is starting. Pretty sure. Richardson's been underwhelming when he did play anyway. Whatever. I'm not interested in Trevor Lawrence. Not interested in May against the Jets. The rest of these guys I probably wouldn't be touching. Winston to be cute, but I don't need to be doing all that. Not on this slate. Yeah, not on this slate. As far as running backs go, Barkley, Henry, Mixon, Taylor, Gibbs, Brees Hall, Robinson, Jacobs, Connor, very obvious plays. I think Detroit spanks Tennessee, so they're gonna have to throw. I'm not saying Pollard is not in the player pool. Absolutely is. Don't know if you're gonna need him. Don't mind Montgomery either, especially if Detroit gets a big league. Bigsby should be RB1 going up against Green Bay. No problem with that. A chain, having Tua there. Maybe they open up the running game by throwing it. I can see that. Chubb. I think Chubb is a little bit, I don't want to say sneaky. I think that he's in play. I can see him having a big game. I can see it. Stevenson against the Jets, I'm not really interested in it. I think he lit them up the last time he played them, if I'm not mistaken. But Stevenson against the Jets at $6K. Give me $100 more and give me Nick Chubb. And let me pray to God that he has one of his games, one of his Nick Chubb games. Most start, don't need him. Chase Brown against Philly, I don't mind it. Tampa Bay running backs. I'd rather play running backs that are gonna get a majority of the load. Pause, but you know what I mean. I don't like these split backfields. I don't like that. The only place I'll accept it is with Detroit. But Tampa Bay, I can't do it. I don't mind it, but I can't do it. I don't think there's a need to do it right now. I'd rather Brown over Moss. I'd rather White over Irving, I guess, if I had to choose. I could see Justice Hill being in play, to be honest with you. And I think I'll stop right there, to be honest. Let's go to wide receiver. All right, wide receiver is where you're going to make or break your lineup. Chase paired up with his quarterback, absolutely in play. St. Brown, both Browns are in play. Diggs with Stroud, absolutely. London in that environment, absolutely. Devontae Adams is an okay play. The Jets, they're a little discombobulated. Maybe this is the game where they get it together, but I don't think you have to have Adams on this slate. He's priced correctly if they play well, but they just been all over the place. Tyreek Hill in a THUR stat. If he's healthy, you're never gonna get Tyreek Hill at 7K again. Zay Flowers, he's in play. He's in play naked or he's in play in a Lamar lineup. And the reason I say naked is because Lamar is expensive. Marvin Harrison, okay play. I like Reed a lot. Wilson's in play. Aaron Rodgers favors, it's a little bit trickier now because he was throwing mostly to Wilson and what's his name? Lazard. Now you got Adams, so he's throwing it to Wilson and Adams, and then a little bit to Lazard. But Wilson's going to get a lot of targets. That's the point. Devonta Smith, he's in play. We'll keep our eye on Higgins. Higgins is absolutely in play. He's been peppered with targets too. If he can't go, I guess Chase gets another bump. I don't mind Thomas in a Green Bay stat or game stat. Absolutely don't mind Thomas at all. Dell's in play. Pittman's in play. Mooney. I like Dobbs in a Green Bay stat or a game stat. I don't mind Kirk. Downs, I take a shot. Wicks is absolutely in play. Ridley's been underwhelming. Not interested. I didn't realize Lazard was out, so you know what? I like Adams and Wilson a lot better now. Now I don't even mind a jet stack because you absolutely know where Aaron Rodgers is going to. That's what I do like about the Jets. Who else? Gabe Davis, no thank you. Bateman's in play. Mike Williams, unfortunately, no thank you. Boyd, no thank you. All right. A lot of y'all love value talk. Let's go to wide receiver. And let's make this value very easy. You see what I'm saying? Value doesn't need to be hard. Here's your value pieces right here. Sterling Shepard, Jalen McMillan, Trey Palmer. Boom. I'm sure a lot of you would favor McMillan, then Palmer, then Shepard. I don't care how you rank them. They're 3,800, 3,700, 3,500. Fire their asses up. Don't say I ain't tell you nothing. Tight ends. You know what? How many minutes we got here? 9 minutes. All right. Before we go to tight ends, if you're new here, welcome. Appreciate you taking time to watch my video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the bell. Thumbs up the video. If you're struggling to cash, no problem. I can help you. Check out the Patreon link in the description. Check out the channel memberships right here on YouTube. Super chats are open. Any questions, you can throw it in the chat. Anything else I didn't mention should be in the description. like I said, throw it in the chat if you have a question, or you could DM me on Twitter, you could DM me on Instagram, you could DM me on TikTok, DFS_Chapo. Okay? All right, let's go to tight end. McBride. I think I mentioned him earlier. He's absolutely in play. McBride's in play. Njoku was good for us last week. Ingram is rejuvenated. 10 targets. 5 targets. I'm with it. Finally. Laporta. We've been waiting on him all season. 3 targets, 2 targets, 4 targets, 1 target. Not gonna cut it, buddy. Jameson Williams is out, right? So that should open up Laporta a little bit. My man's is out here sticking needles in his ass. NFL suspended Williams 2 games for violating the league's policy, performance enhancing substances. Whatever, my boy. Anyway, you know what? Let's just take a little bit of a deeper dive into Detroit pass catching. You got St. Brown, Gimme, Patrick, Raymond. So you know what? Before I go and say Laporta should get more targets. But you still got to be careful with Patrick and Raymond. And I heard the coach mention something about Allen Robinson. I don't know what the fuck that means, but Patrick and Raymond are absolute value pieces also. Okay? Okay. Let's go back to tight end. So I still like Laporta to get more targets, but it is the NFL. Anything can happen. Kraft I love Kraft. No, I don't love Kraft. I like Kraft because there's so many targets in Green Bay. But it's an absolutely sensational spot going up against Jacksonville. Pitts is in play. I'm still scared of Likely and Andrews, but it looked like Andrews is getting his targets back. 5, 4, and 4 last 3 games, falling into the end zone. If Flowers is out, give me a little bit of a bump to Andrews and fire his ass up. Henry's in play. Jonnu Smith is fine. Tyreek Hill is out. He gets a little bit of a bump. Otten, if you need a little value. I don't mind Conklin in an Aaron Rodgers stack. I don't mind him naked if he's the last guy in. I don't mind anybody naked, to be honest with you. If you see a lot of winning lineups, it's a lot of one-offs. You know what I'm saying? So, just make your lineup, just play players that are going to get targets, touches, and snaps, targets, and touches. That's all I can tell you. I don't know if we need to dig deeper in the bag of tight ends under Conklin. I don't really know if we need to do that. Maybe Calcaterra. And just because a player may have a low targets one game doesn't mean it's going to be the same the next game. But it does kind of play with your mind a little bit when you watch the game log. What I'd do, if you really want to play a tight end, especially like Calcaterra, what I would tell you to do is I would go online and I would research his snaps, see how many snaps he played. And if he played a lot of snaps and he just didn't get the targets, then I take a shot on him. If he didn't get a lot of snaps, then I'd shy away from him. That's what I would do. That's my advice to you. Okonkwo and Jaceki in the player pool, don't think I'd get to them. And as far as defenses go, let's see if anything stands out. Okay, Detroit. I think New England scores on the Jets. Does the Jets get some sacks and some takeaways? That's the question. I like the Ravens. Packers are okay. Let me see. What else stands out here? I actually don't mind New England because it seems like the Jets sometimes don't know how to score or don't know how to advance the ball. But my gut tells me that this is the week that they get it together. So I'll give them that. But yeah, give me the Lions Give me the Ravens. And give me maybe Houston. You never know with these teams. Give me Detroit, give me Baltimore, give me the Jets. That's why they're priced up the highest. I'm gonna go in and get out of here. Appreciate y'all taking time to watch the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up the video. Anybody you like I didn't mention, throw it in the chat, no problem. Don't forget, if you're struggling to cash with NBA, NFL, whatever it is, no problem. Check out the Patreon link in the description. Check out the channel memberships right here on YouTube. Super chats are open, and the Patreon is free, right? The regular Patreon is free. If you want to join the Patreon, sometimes any top 10 finishes, I'll post it there, so maybe you can see that. If we just go back a few days, I don't know. That's about it. I held y'all long enough. I'm going to go in and get out of here, and I'll talk to y'all later. Ciao.